other channels we have. We have a mystery channel. He'll do it there. But he's a great guy. And a lot of you guys have written in. You've asked for this tape and that tape. And well, I'll get to them. We'll create them for you. And a lot of them are just nice. Almost overwhelmingly, we get these wonderful comments. Thanks for that. Or, we can't hear you. You got to speak up a little bit. Constructive criticism, which is wonderful because, we sit in this little thing by ourselves. I can't. So it's good to have this to come in. But anyway, I've been getting emails, really weird emails. Not on what is this, YouTube, but emails from this guy. He's called BK Primo 1, and he apparently wants to marry me. I've explained my wife would be upset with my wife as a woman. Not making judgments here, just saying. And now, some of these things are getting a little bit scary. I mean, so that's some of the things you have to put up with when you're dealing with this. Oh, BK Primo 1. What Primo's what? It's time for the best or something, isn't it? Anyway, let's onward. Charles Panarella, aka the Moose. He was Charlie Moose, they call him. Born January the 5th, 1922. He was a capo in the Colombo Crime family, a captain in the Colombo Crime family. I'm going to stop saying capo. It's captain in the Colombo Crime family. Legend says that he had almost superhuman strength as a young man. He once forced another hood to kiss his own testicles by bending him over by the neck before killing him. Wow. In the summer of 2001, law enforcement said Panarella was in New York at a sit-down between the Colombos and the Genovese family to solve a dispute, a territorial issue. Panarella can be heard on an organized crime task force bug bragging about his position within the Colombo crime family and threatening a younger Colombo member who questioned his authority. In 2003, at age 81, Panarella was indicted for labor racketeering in connection with alleged labor law violations, construction payoffs, blah, blah, blah. The charges were all linked to this alleged payoff within the local office of the International Union of Operating Engineers and fraud associated with construction of a minor league baseball stadium in Staten Island, as well as a Brooklyn post office. The operating engineers in Chicago as well has had a lot of problems over the decades. Although he was jailed briefly in 1940, he's died now in 2017, considering his 6 decades in the mud, just very little time behind bars. Mob legend says that Panarella, whose crew excelled in bank robbery, drug dealing, and control of sheet metal workers union in New York, ducked several attempts on his life, including the Joey Gallo-inspired hit at the Neapolitan Noodle in 1972 when 2 Chicago businessmen were gunned down by mistake after Panarella and company switched tables. I think 2 were killed, but I think 2 more were severely injured. There is also tape on that here, too. In the mid-1980s, Panarella's own crew, led by his own brother-in-law, John Jackie DeRoss, and included mob stars like Wild Bill Cutolo, Greg Scarpa. They rebelled against his iron-fisted rule, and Carmine Persico Jr. exiled him to Las Vegas, to the desert. Persico, there's something biblical about that, isn't it? Persico didn't care about the crew's complaints, but he apparently was concerned that Panarella might align himself with the growing power of John Sonny Francis and undermine Persico's leadership, a role as the feds were bringing in charges that would ultimately send him away for good anyway. So, when Vicarino took over, Panarella's fortunes in the family began to rise. And although he still based his operation in Vegas, he was charged with overseeing the family's interest in Brooklyn Locals 14 and 15 of the International Union of Operating Engineers. However, Panarella was added to the Nevada Black Book of excluded persons in 1997 due to his 94 conviction in drug money laundering. And it's amazing they don't get arrested more often. He served less than 15 months for the crime. He's barred from the casinos or not. That didn't stop him from dropping by the office of Las Vegas mayor and former mob mouthpiece Oscar Goodman in 1999. Panarella, Goodman explained, came up with an appointment and asked whether I could help his son. I tried, Goodman said. Goodman had just ducked another firestorm several weeks before the Panarella visit for socializing in his home with Joey Casamano, a former client and a Black Book member, excluded persons member. Goodman insisted he did nothing wrong. Of course not. Nor did he see anything wrong with meeting Panarella, and further insisted remarkably that he was not aware, God bless his heart, that Panarella's name is among those in the Black Book. When reporters asked Goodman if he knew Panarella was a mob soldier, Goodman said, "I don't know what that means. I've never seen him associated with anyone who was a mobster." This guy. If I needed a lawyer, I'd hire him. You know. So Vinny Ocean Palermo, the former head of the DiCaventi family, who had just turned government informant, told the FBI he spotted Panarella leaving Goodman's office around 1999. Goodman went on to say he never met Palermo, and how would Palermo know who he is? He said, I would remember a person named Vinny Ocean because I hope he would jump in it. Oh, what a clever pun. However, Palermo told the FBI that he made 10 grand contribution to Goodman's mayoral campaign in 1999 because Goodman told him he would help him with zoning for a proposed topless club in Las Vegas called Queens. Goodman told Palermo that as soon as he was elected, he would help Palermo with the zoning issue, an FBI report stated. Palermo told the FBI he donated 10 grand campaign to the campaign through a third party. Palermo said that when he returned to Las Vegas after Goodman took office to meet one of the new mayor's new aides, he was waiting in Goodman's office and spotted Panarella, and that Panarella kissed the mayor's assistant on both cheeks and left. That's weird. Goodman became angry when pressed for details of the Panarella meeting and its aftermath. He refused to answer several questions by reporters that he considered inappropriate and explained, "I helped the young man get into a University of San Diego," the young man being, again, Panarella's son. But when asked whether he was successful in securing a job for Panarella's son, Goodman at first said, "That's none of your goddamn business." And when asked if Panarella was a personal friend, Goodman screamed at reporters, "I'm going to bar you from City Hall if you keep asking questions. I'll bar you from City Hall." I think he's not understanding the point of a free press, right? So